Unionized film and TV writers are heading for the picket line after last-minute contract negotiations with Hollywood's leading studios failed. The Writers Guild of America, that strike expected to immediately impact late-night talk shows. Oh, darn. Daytime soap operas and Saturday Night Live, that would be not good, which is likely to cancel this week's show. Joining us now, Cynthia Littleton, Variety's co-editor-in-chief. I have deja vu. This happens occasionally, Cynthia, doesn't it? You know, we were just talking about the debt ceiling. I mean, we do all these things over and over again. How long was this? What's going to happen here? How long will it last? And man, there is a lot of money to go around with streaming. I'd want more of a piece of the pie too, I think.
Well, yes, it's true. It does happen. These contracts are negotiated every 3 years, and this is the first time in 15 years since the Writers Guild of America last went on strike that Hollywood will face a very broad strike that, if it goes on a long time, would really, really have an impact on Hollywood's supply chain. Yeah.
I've seen in the past, and I don't know if this is the case this time, Cynthia, I haven't followed that closely, but the way that studios and agents and agencies do business now, there's a lot of packaging and a lot of things are linked depending on you do this, you do that. And sometimes I think the writers felt like, as important as they are, that they've been getting short shrift for a number of years. Is that all coming to a head in this latest action that we're seeing?
That is very much the case. It is all coming to a head. It's also coming to a head for going on 10 years. There's been enormous structural changes in the way Hollywood produces content and the way Hollywood makes money from television shows and from streaming. And you're right, there is a lot of revenue in the system. There's not a lot of profits in the system. And that is one reason why we are here today.
So you would, when the two sides are arguing and pointing at each other, both sides are somewhat, they're both correct. It's the reality of the current environment. So there seems like there's a lot of money to go around, but if it's not profits, then both sides, I guess, need to understand sort of the facts of the matter.
I mean, what you've got here is you've got the studios are coming in saying, look at how much money we've been investing in streaming, aka losing on the building of these streaming platforms. And you have writers, particularly a big group, not the top echelon writers, but there's a big group of what they call the middle class writers that have, there's no question, have been squeezed in every which way and are getting the shorter end of the stick as, again, through all these massive kind of structural changes in Hollywood, there has been a group that has, if not been left behind, has not prospered as much as others. But you've still got a situation where you've got labor asking for pretty significant gains at a time when you have companies like Paramount Global telling investors that they will have no free cash flow this year. That makes for a tough negotiation at this time.
So if it's not money that the writers are going to be able to extract from the negotiations, what would they want in terms of the way things are structured now with the studios and agencies and whatnot?
Well, what the changes they want will essentially boil down to money. The Writers Guild are asking for some unusual things in the history of television, although in recent history there's been such change that the Writers Guild proposal actually has an element in their proposal to mandate a minimum number of writers that have to be hired to work on a television series. Because again, you've got the situation now where sometimes one person can write up to 10, 12, 13 episodes of a TV series. Very different model from the days of the heyday of Aaron Spelling and Stephen J. Cannell, where they prided themselves on having shows that ran for many seasons and multiple episodes. Now it's a very different game, and that's really pinching writers that have traditionally their compensation has been in television has been factored by the episode, and that's become a real problem. And changing that is not going to be easy for Hollywood deal makers.